Hey, what's up, you guys? My name is Milan, and I'm going to talk about when I went from natural to perm. If you're natural and you're thinking about going back to doing perms, listen to this story because there's a lot of things that you need to know before you make that transition. Okay, so I went natural for about 2 years. I usually get perms, but going natural was just like a big fad, like everybody was doing it. So in about 2012, I already didn't get perms that often. My hair had about this much new growth. I just kept getting sew-ins, until my new growth grew like this thick. And then I just chopped all the perms. And with my natural hair, it was manageable to a certain extent, but the only problem was when it dried, it got very, very, very dry. What I thought about going natural, I thought my real hair was going to grow more. I didn't see a difference in my hair. Like, it was the same length that it had always been. That was actually one of the main reasons why I decided to go natural, because I wanted my hair to grow. So eventually I got tired of having to deal with my natural hair. Like, every time I would take a sew-in out, I would have to deep condition my hair, blow dry it, flat iron it, press it, flat iron it again, just to get it as straight as a perm. Because with natural hair, yeah, it's nice when it's curly, but then when you want it straight, you can never get it bone straight like when you have a perm. And then when I used to sweat, it would just like I was like a poodle, looking all types of crazy. So I said, you know what, I'm going back to relaxers. Natural ain't for me, so I'm just gonna go back to a perm. When I went to the store, I bought a box perm. As I was washing the relaxer out, all my hair fell off in my hands. Like, literally, I was washing it out, and like, I looked at my hands, and my hair was on my hands. That was coming out my head. It was on my hands. So I'm freaking out. Once I washed it all out, you know how people say, you don't got no edges? I ain't had no edges. All my hair in the front was gone because everything that I left out for my sew-ins broke off. Like, everything. It was just gone. So I cried. I'm not gonna lie to you. I cried. Usually my hair is so thick and full, and it was just gone. It was horrible. And then the front was this big, and the back was like this long. Damage is an understatement. It looks stupid, me trying to get a part down the middle, and it wasn't even enough to cover the tracks. Like, I had to start getting side parts. It just looked so dumb. It was just like, oh my god, I'm forced to get a side part now because my hair is gone. I just looked a hot mess. I'm just like, this is embarrassing. Like, I was not pretty, I was not beautiful, I was ugly when I took my weave out, because that was not cute what I was going through right there. The back didn't break off as much. It was the front that just, everything gone. Finally, I said, you know what, I'm gonna just have to cut it. Perms can be damaging to your hair. If you get it too much, the chemicals are too harsh. So what I did was I waited 6 months before I permed my hair again. I just kept sewing it up. So I went to a stylist, and I told her about my story, and I said, can you do something about this, please? I want you to cut it all off. And so she looked at me like, and I said, just cut it so it's all the same length. So she cut off all my hair. My hair was this tall. I got a closure, and basically I sewed it all up. I had my hair underneath growing, and my hair had grew back. And guess what I got? A middle part. So yeah, I was going through it. It's blended in my weave, so you can't really see how long it is, but it can fit in a ponytail now. It grew a lot. So that was my natural to permed story. And if you are thinking about going from natural to perm, I just want to tell you, don't use a box because you may be at risk. I think what broke my hair off was the perm that I used. Because first of all, when you go from natural to perm, you can't put too harsh of a perm on there. Why? Because your hair is not used to the relaxer. So therefore, it's gonna shock it, you know what I mean? Because it's not used to the chemicals being in it. So if you go from natural to perm, it's best for you to use a mild relaxer. I use super strength. That was not good. On top of me using a box, which is also not good. It's better to use a relaxer. Like, it's already mixed, just the relaxer. It's best to use that because that has less chemicals and less harsh chemicals too. It's a little bit more mild than a box perm is. Also, another thing that you need to know when you want to go from natural to perm, if you have dye in your hair, make sure all the dye is out before you perm your hair from going natural to perm, because my sister, she had dye in her hair and she was going natural, and she decided, oh, I want to get perms again, not knowing that she had just put a dye in her hair maybe 6 months ago. Put the perm in her hair, all of it came out. I was looking at her like, perm then dye. You're not supposed to dye then perm. That's what causes the breakage. So if you have any dye in your hair, make sure that it's all gone. It's all natural. You grew out the dye. You cut it off before you perm it, because you will have hair in your hands. And let me tell you, that is not fun. So I hope that my testimony and my story has been a great help to anybody thinking about going back to perms, because I love my perm. My edges are laid. I have edges again, and that was a big jump, because I used to be bald, and I'm not ashamed to say it. I used to be bald, but I'm not bald anymore, and I don't have to always get a side part. I can get a middle part. I have a middle part in my neck. So yes, that is my story, and I would love for you guys to subscribe to my channel. Follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram, and all of that. Okay? Thank you.